So welcome, Monika.
Hi.
Monika, thank you. Thank you for agreeing to come and have a chat, a little inside Mesmerise story time.
Thank you for having me.
So I'm really curious. It's not actually in world time been that long since you've been inside Mesmerise.
Yeah.
5 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although it's like I feel like I've stepped out of time in a way.
Yeah. So if you can cast your mind back to 5 months ago, before you joined Mesmerise, what was going on for you in your life and business that had you want to step into the container of Mesmerise?
So where I was at that time, I had these dreams. I had this sense of, I'm here to contribute and I want to do this. And it also looks like a business. And I had the training, I got my certification as a life coach, a really high quality certification. And at the same time, there's one word that really sums up my experience, which was I was bewildered by the whole, now what do I do?
Right.
What happens next? Like it just seemed like there was all this stuff. And it was like this chaos, and I was trying to contain it and kind of find my way through it. But it was quite confusing. I was quite confused as well, so I would get moments of clarity around this, that, but it seemed on the whole that there was so much that I was actually feeling quite overwhelmed a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And I was kind of struggling. So I was pushing this boulder up this hill, and not really feeling very supported. It's this mad jungle out there, and I don't know what to do.
Yeah. So feeling overwhelmed, bewildered, confused, with a sense that you had something to offer, right? You've done this really high quality training. You know that you're good at that. But it feeling like a jungle out there. Like, how do I move forward? And so I know, because I've been lucky enough to be privy to your journey so far. I know you've, been delivering a TED Talk. I know we've crafted your business model, your offerings. How are you feeling now about your gifts and the path sharing them?
I think that's really important, because when there was so much going on, that I didn't know about, it would lead me to actually doubt what I had to offer.
Right.
Because I'd feel sort of this inadequacy, and it would make me even wonder, about, am I really meant to do this? Or, maybe I need more training, So I think that's an area which has been impacted quite significantly, is like, I'm now no longer doubting what I have to offer. And I think the wild voice has been really critical in this. So just having that really visceral experience of sharing my wild voice, allowing it to be heard and seen, and also like letting it come out of hiding and revealing it in a space where it feels safe. And just having that experience has given me that sense of trust in it. So I don't doubt that I have something to offer now. I don't go into that place.
Wow.
That's quite significant. So I'm not sitting here thinking, oh my God, maybe I need another training. Maybe I'm not thinking about that anymore.
That is huge. And it's so good. It's so good to hear, because I know people can get stuck there for years in the need another training hamster wheel. So in 5 months to have moved from doubt to, and maybe I need another training, to, I trust myself and my gifts is amazing. And what else would you say has shifted for you in terms of being able to then speak that aloud, deliver that message out loud, and really know what you're speaking about?
It's really enabled me to take more risks, actually. I'll give you an example. There's some wild voice writing we did, and something that spoke through me was like called The Erotic Mother. And it just felt really alive to me. Like, I was excited about it.
Yeah.
And I didn't really think about it, because part of the exercise was post something. So I was like, I'll just post it. I didn't give myself time to like shut it down and like hide it away. And I just shared it. And it was so interesting, the response that I got. It was so affirming to hear the response that post got, for example. And it's that kind of being shown that you are on the right track, and there's no substitute for that. So I was able to take the risk to share it, and then there was a response from that. Now I'm no longer going to be in the same person who was afraid to share those kind of things. So that felt so raw, for example, to share. It was just, so if I can share that, I can share so many other things now.
That's so important to notice, that you gave yourself that experience, right? There was fear, you did it, and you had an amazing response. And through that experience, you get to literally rewire.
Exactly. And what was crucial is me, first of all, sharing it in our little group. It was in steps, because there's only, it's really hard on your nervous system if you're going to jump off a cliff every time, So that safety net of like practicing and hearing other people sharing their wild voices and how that lands on you, how that's, yes, I want more of that. I want to be part of that. That's who I want to be. So like the kind of women also who are in Mesmerise, I think that's a very important part of it. So it's like this tribe of people, and in this field, we get to be more and more and more of our authentic wild selves. And that's what I'm guessing somebody who comes to Mesmerise wants, more of that.
Yeah. Let's go down that track a little. So you're inside Mesmerise, right? So you'll be part of the welcoming party when people join. How would someone recognize, in your opinion, that they are a right fit for Mesmerise?
So if somebody is on that path of wanting to be this full yes, to live from this place of alignment with the deepest part of themselves, and if they know that that's what they really want to show all of themselves, and they want to create that field of resonance with the world, where they're simply really being more and more of themselves. So I think Mesmerise is a really good container for that, really wild, deeply tuned in, and possibly hidden to some extent part of you to really come out and be seen and to be met and to be celebrated, and to have that experience of that, not only in yourself, not only in your little community, but actually to create a greater experience and a ripple of that in the bigger world.
What a beautiful, beautiful answer. Thank you, Monika, for that. And you've also stepped into an even more intimate container, right? You've added some one-to-one support, VIP days, one-to-one ongoing support. What has that additional access to me and my magic meant for you and yours?
Yeah. So, where do I start now? So the reason I, stepped into that bigger container, it was for a little project that I had signed up. I had actually said yes to a TED talk, and, it was happening. And I realized that I actually wanted more support to really create the experience that I wanted to have. So this was like a complete rewiring of an experience that I'd had as a child, which was to step up on stage, and put my heart on loudspeaker, as you say, to really show up and do whatever felt really intuitive and, alive for me. And I fell flat on my face. It went really wrong. And the meanings that I made and how that really shaped my life into becoming quite averse to taking risks and not wanting to really show this really raw side of myself.
Yeah.
And really from taking it from that, going on stage, and I wanted to have this experience where it was really the polar opposite, where I really got to feel like I have done justice in presenting myself the way I want to, and also being able to deliver my message. So there was many pieces in this that were actually missing for me. And it felt like I can't do this by myself. Or I can maybe, but, and as it turned out, like, you were the perfect mentor for that for me, because you had all the experience, the expertise, the coaching skills, and the willingness to share with me and to pull out these threads that were there, but they were like, I couldn't even see them.
Yeah.
So for me, this meant that I could stop worrying and obsessing and like feeling all alone in this, into focusing on how can I really make this awesome? How can I to really lean into the vision of it, of what it's possible, and to have you to actually really hear my vision, to really and support my vision and help me to bring it out, and giving me, like, what you did. Like, there were so many pieces that there's just no way that, I could have done that by myself. So you really partnered with me, like, and we went into this really creative space where we both didn't know how this was even going to go. We just had this kind of a starting point, what stuff that we took what the raw material that I had, and we actually crafted it, and we played with it, and we created it into something pretty powerful, that I was really proud to stand up. And, I wasn't thinking, oh my God, is this good enough? I had also your input and the confidence that I got from, your experience, that this is good. You can go out and proudly say this in front of the world, and it's fine. So, that just made it into this pretty powerful experience for me. I'm now a person who has done that, who has conquered this fearful place in my life. And conquered almost is not the right word, but it's like I've gone past that.
Yeah, you've changed the story.
Change the story. So energetically, it's different.
Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah, it was such a joy to support you on that. And to be able, this is such a great example of what happens when we offer the cake, right? Instead of the flour, the eggs, the sugar. Because I was able with Monika to bring all my theatre expertise, my crafting expertise, my expertise with words, messaging, understanding people, and the coaching and the insight and the intuition into where you were holding back, right? And where you were sort of nicing up the message of it.
Actually, I didn't say that. Okay, can I just add this bit that, there was the nicing up that was going on, because And literally the words we use is like, get your fangs out, right? Get your fangs out.
Get them out.
Just get your
Yeah.
fangs out. And the beauty of like seeing that the fangs came out in service, really compassionate. They came out in service of freedom. Like on the other side of these fangs is freedom and everything that, you know, people want to experience. That's why we're not doing this just for, you know, destruction or to cause bloodshed, but it's really needed. Yeah.
The fangs are needed.
Yeah.
They are really needed. I feel like I've got perfect fan nails today. Yes, that was super fun. And it felt that the shifts when we shared the places where you were inserting niceness, like the unconscious apologies that it's so natural to do, the places where you were sort of caretaking the audience's emotional response.
And also patronizing them.
Yeah.
That was interesting. I did not know I was doing that. It was like, okay, you're actually patronizing the audience here. You don't giving them enough credit.
Yeah.
You get this.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah.
And there was also the pieces of like we did before, which was like creating safety for my younger parts as well.
Yes. Yeah.
So that was also something we didn't mention here, but you know, that all of this was like part of that package.
Yeah. Yes, the healing aspects that we brought in of the parts that needed to feel safe, your inner parents that could tend to your young one so that you in your fullness could be up there on the stage, not having to spend any of your energy caretaking for your...
And also like a debrief at the end, because actually this was quite a big journey for me. It was significant. It was a real step outside my comfort zone. And so to have someone who's been from the beginning, seen all the stuff that I've been through, and then to have someone to actually debrief it with it, you know, at the end, it felt like a beautiful experience.
Yeah. It's so great to hear. Thank you for sharing that. And, you know, for those of you listening, and I'm going to pop on Facebook in a moment. So if anyone has any questions for Monika, start typing them in now. But just know that if you want to add on one-to-one time with me, then I currently am only offering that to Mesmerise clients. So if you want a VIP day with me, or you want that one-to-one support that combines the healing, the coaching, and the crafting of your talks, then that's available for Mesmerise clients and inside Mesmerise. So let me hop on and see if anyone has a question for Monika. Let's have a look.
There's something more I wanted to say while we're waiting for questions. And that is what's special and unique about Mesmerise. And, you know, I think it's a structure that truly gets and is truly based on this idea that you are, as a business person, as a woman entrepreneur, your business is an extension of yourself, and therefore, and it's an expression of yourself.
Yeah.
And so it does support like all of you whilst having the business focus. It's not just like cutting you up into pieces and then let me just, you know, so it really has this deep understanding, this underpinning of you as a whole human, and getting that at times, actually, that not focusing on your business is going to be focusing on your business, is the most important thing you can do to focus on your business. And I think that is really, you know, this whole idea of the seasons and the cycles of creation, and literally actually applying them and practicing them in the moment. So sometimes we have to take a step back to take a step forward. Sometimes we have to pause to create, and just literally tuning in and honoring that wisdom.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that forward. And it's so important, right? Because when your business feels like an extension of you, because you want it to be, you want it to be true to you, an expression of who you are, sometimes the danger of that is that sort of imagine that you've made your business this huge thing and you the small thing, right? And you sort of try and fit yourself into this business, whereas you are bigger than your business, and it should be that way around. So we look to you first. Who are you? What do you need? And then creating your business from within that. Because as Monika has so eloquently said, sometimes the way to build your business is not to build your business, right? Is to go and focus on something else, is to go and have a frolic, go and have a nap. Yeah, amazing. So I don't think we have any questions at the moment. And I was going to ask if there was anything else you wanted to add, but that may have been it. I'll just give you a moment to tune in. I know that you have become masterful at trusting your energy flow. Is there anything that feels alive in this moment to bring forward?
I think I'd just like to wrap up with the one most important thing for me. And I think that Mesmerise has been really instrumental in supporting, and it's really trusting, dropping into more and more trust.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty special.
Thank you so much, Monika. And thank you for being a part of Mesmerise. And if you want to get to hang out with glorious beings like Monika, then this is your opportunity, because the doors to Mesmerise are open. So remember to go to www.katewolf.global/mesmerise to read through all the details. You know, all the information is there, but also the page, the place it's been written from, is really full of what I'm bringing through to our world at this time. So make sure when you're reading it that you allow yourself to drop into your body, you know, let yourself to absorb the energy of the words as well, and feel into whether that container is something you would like to step into. And on that same page, should you need a consult with me to just, you know, talk through whether it is right for you at this time, then there's a link to book a call with me right there on the page. So again, Monika, thank you so much, and I'll see you very soon. Bye, everyone.